Hi, I'm Anne Hathaway, and this is my life in looks. This is one of those moments where it feels like a lifetime ago and like it happened yesterday, 5 minutes ago, I swear. So I am 16 years old in this. This was one of my first photo shoots ever. It was, if I remember correctly, an issue of TV Guide. They were doing the upcoming fall schedule, and I'd just been cast in my first ever television series called Get Real. I played a character called Megan Green, who was a rebellious valedictorian. I chose these jeans. I loved them. I bought them actually after the shoot because I loved them so much and I wore them proudly. I kept waiting for them to have their moment and they didn't. And so the years went on and I eventually thought, okay, it's time to part with them. And I gave them away. And the next year, Chloe came up with those beautiful patchwork jeans, which I actually wore to the Idea of You premiere at South by Southwest as an homage to these very jeans. So if you don't like both of them, I don't know what to say. They make me smile, and I love them. Hello, Princess! This is the dress Princess Mia wears when she decides that she is going to accept the throne. Why do we love a makeover montage? I mean, why is the sky blue? Why are we largely carbon-derived? I have no idea. It's a mystery. These are questions that are bigger than me. I don't know. I don't know how to answer them, but God, I love them. I think I love growth. I think we all love growth. And I think that the makeover montage is the ancestress of TikTok. So clearly, why ever we love it, we just really do. Oh my gosh, Ella Frel jumping over a barrel. Sweet girl. So this was one of the first days that we shot Ella Enchanted. Ella, she was a rebellious teen. I'm realizing that I play a lot of rebellious teenagers, or I did at one point when I was one. We filmed in Ireland. We were kind of going for like a medieval, socially conscious hippie. And I think we succeeded really well. I loved this blue. And it was the first time, my first experience with hair extensions, which I did not love as much as the blue. Loved these boots. Had them for years. This is my character, Lorraine Newsome. From Brokeback Mountain, directed by the master Ang Lee. This is one of the films that changed my life. I'd been a likable actress, a cute actress up to this point. This was the first time I think I'd ever been considered like a real actress, a dramatic actress. At one point, it was Heath Ledger, Michelle Williams, Jake Gyllenhaal, and myself, and we were out to dinner. I looked around and I realized that we were about to make a movie that was going to be an extraordinary challenge, and none of us were over 25. I just remember feeling like we'd just been entrusted with something really important. I don't know, I still get chills. I remember every second of making this film. I loved her so much. I loved her so much. And I just thought this rodeo queen princess type was, who had a surprisingly steely, tough rhinestone quality to her. She was an incredibly special character. I made up a whole story about how my father, for every one of my birthdays, would always buy me a piece of jewelry that was kind of horseshoe themed. So just looking at that, I picked that belt, but just everything was chosen with such care. And I really appreciate how beautifully my scarf is tied. Well. I see that I am wearing the Chanel boots. Gosh, it's so funny because the last time I saw this outfit was like on a meme. People send me this one all the time. And the last meme I saw was somebody being like, are you wearing and it's the armor from the 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yes, I am. So this is Andy Sachs in her post-makeover scene from The Devil Wears Prada, which was designed by the one and only, the legend, the eternal, the goddess, Patricia Field. I feel like part of the reason why The Devil Wears Prada has such enduring power is because of the brilliance of the costume choices, and that's all Pat. So a lot of people want to know, did I know that The Devil Wears Prada was going to be what it was? If you'd asked me at the time, well, actually, no. I'm thinking back to who I was at the time. I would have said yeah. I absolutely would have said yeah. And then I think I would have been more careful as I got older. And now I'm back to saying, yeah, I did. It was a feeling. I mean, I didn't know how to prove the feeling. And I didn't realize that it would actually take 20 years for that feeling to become undeniable. I was getting ready for a Michael Kors fashion show. Well, I had just recently gotten my bangs back. And as I was going out the door, I thought, oh, that's funny. I kind of look like Andy, kinda. But I didn't think anything of it. And then I showed up and then I realized I was sitting next to Anna and everybody was kind of looking at us, and I thought, I think maybe I look a lot like Andy right now. Within minutes, literally, of the fashion show, I found out that yes, I had looked a lot like Andy. I think the most important thing in life is a great sense of humor. I think Anna has a fabulous sense of humor, and I was thrilled that we could enjoy that moment together. Well, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's just a lovely, beautiful Prada dress. That was the night I won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for my performance in Les Miserables. When I look at this, the thing I'm just struck by is how much love that the people in my immediate circle surrounded me with in that moment. I'm just remembering the love. If I'm really honest, it was a complicated time for a lot of different reasons that I don't want to go into, but I remember that moment feeling super pure, super beautiful. And I just made sure to like earmark that moment. I'm just like, when you look back, this is what matters. This is the part to remember. This is Dr. Amelia Brand in Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. I was actually just talking about this the other day because the costume was very heavy. And I asked to try it on, and I got asked to, I'd like to test it in water before I have to, there's a sprint sequence in it. And so I got taken to a pool and I ran about 20 yards and I said, that's enough. I know everything I need to know. And I went straight out and bought a weighted vest. And I spent the next, I think, 8 weeks just running up and down trails in LA, just trying to build up my stamina and my strength to be able to bear the weight of that. There's a physical component to filmmaking that I think people often misunderstand. There's a grit that you need. And granted, there's like also craft service and like people give you water and ask if you're okay all the time. So it's a balance, but you do need to have steeliness. You do need to be willing to go that extra mile. It's an amazing art form. And it's something that you truly can turn yourself inside out for. And that's all I just wanted to say was it was a pleasure to get to run across Iceland in this spacesuit in mid-thigh height water again and again and again and again, as many times as Chris needed. What's confusing about the ending? Love. That's the ending is love. I don't know. I mean, the ending, the whole film is a feeling, and the idea that physics is poetic and emotional as well. Hello. This was a very, very, very special moment for me. Pier Paolo invited me to this show, and I was able to sit next to my dear, dear friend Giancarlo Giametti at the event. This was the beginning of the pink moment. And I went to my fitting and there were a few other looks, but as soon as I put this one on, I knew that it was perfect. I loved this moment of heels. I love a very high platform heel. It's a happy place for me. I did not fully think about the cobblestones. This is one of my favorite dresses of all time. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, it's like children, but this one was really, really special. It was a magnificent garment. I wish you could see the insides of it. The way it was constructed was just incredible. Literally everything that comes out of Donatella's mouth deserves to be remembered forever. One of my favorite things that she ever said was, we were taking a photo, I think it was maybe for one of our ad campaigns together, and someone said they needed to get an approval for something, and she looked at them and deadpanned, I approve. And she was like, what more do you need? She has so much power, not just because of the Versace name, but who she is. She herself as an individual has so much power, and the way she uses it, the way she brings people closer together, the way she treats people like family, her level of thoughtfulness, she's a wonderful person. I feel really lucky that we're in each other's lives. This is so nice. So this is Ralph Lauren. This was the CFDA Fashion Awards, which I was a last minute replacement for Sarah Jessica Parker. It was a big night for American fashion, so I really wanted to wear an American designer. It's always very fun when you go to one of these events that, you know, the room is full of fashion people who don't hide the fact that you walk in and they just go, and they look you up and down. I mean, it's Ralph. And it's, oh my gosh, no, I'm just remembering the feeling of the fabric now. You have no idea how soft this denim was. I don't know what it is about me, but my memory is triggered by what people wear and what I've worn. We're back in Ralph Lauren. So this is outside of the 92nd Street Y for the producers panel that I was invited to attend because I was a producer on The Idea of You. This is archival Ralph Lauren. It is a leather 3-piece suit, which are all things that I love. I love a 3-piece suit. This always reminds me because when I got the Princess Diaries, I decided I wanted to buy myself a treat. And I bought myself a pair of leather pants. And when I chose this outfit, it felt like another first for me. I've never produced something at the level of the idea of you. I mean, my goodness, when I think back to some of the directors that I've named as we've gone through these, I've gotten to learn from the best. And so what I hope to do as a producer is, I don't know, make those people look really good. Acting's not a solo sport, it's a team sport. To do your part in contributing to a world that does not rely on rigid dogma, but actually is able to be present, to take in the truth of someone else with curiosity and respect. That's what power means to me. And the idea that you are skilled enough, that you've developed your skill set enough, that it mattered enough to you to really apply yourself to learn. So that way you can say, and I can do that with precision. You can count on me. I love being able to say that with confidence. I have taken my craft seriously. I've learned a great deal, and you can trust me. Let's see what happens next. You asked me before, is there anything I wanted to say? Look at how many pages I still get to fill. Thank you so much. That's my life in looks.